Thank you all for submitting your questions this week, and we've gotten some really good ones. But for those of you who are not familiar with us, because we have been increasing our followers, which thank you so much, community, by the way, for helping spread the message. Let me first introduce some of the team members who will be answering the questions today. So we have Hank, our technical lead.
Hello.
We have the one and only Peter, our marketing lead.
Hey, everybody.
We have the obviator back from his dinner. It was a joke from the first AMA, by the way. Our senior full stack engineer.
Hi, guys. It's great to be here this time.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Little Tarzan, our Solidity lead.
Hey, everyone.
Alrighty, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get some of these questions answered that you all asked. So we're going to start off with the highest voted questions and then proceed through the list. So the highest voted question by the community is, what does the team expect to be the biggest short-term development challenges for the next month? And are there any ways the community can help?
I guess I'll take the reins on that one. So the nice thing about the Hedera SDK is that it's pretty straightforward to use and developing on it is pretty simple. Sometimes we do find some nuanced or weird behaviors, but the Hedera team has been very proactive. They're really dedicated to making development on the platform as seamless as possible. So I really do appreciate the help and advice they provided to the SaucerSwap team. On the smart contract side of things, we've kind of teased it on our Twitter and roadmap. So far, we got the pairing, the routing, and the swap smart contracts on testnet. And as we're waiting on some of the necessary updates like HIP 218 or the token create transaction inside the Hedera smart contract service, we have unit tests set up so we have robust and maintainable code. On the UI side of things, we're working on getting our Webflow and designs finalized this month. And on that, would you like to speak on that regard, the Aviator?
Absolutely. So yeah, we're looking at the user experience side, and we're actively exploring the capabilities that the Hedera network provides, and we're trying to maximize those capabilities to make sure that we're providing the best possible user experience in the ecosystem. And we aim to make SaucerSwap a premier example of what a user experience should be, and not just limit to what the crypto community at large is used to. And in that regard, you asked how the community can help. Well, you guys can keep being yourselves, keep giving us fantastic feedback. We're really shocked and blown away by how wholesome and friendly the community has been, especially in our Discord, which has been very popular. And it's a real credit to our social team. Shout out to those guys. And we're all very proud of that. So please keep spreading the word and keep providing that excellent feedback that the community has been very supportive with. So thank you all so much. And we look forward to hearing more about what you have to say about the things that we present.
Great. Thank you so much, Hank and Obviator. So the second question that we have is, there has been a lot of talk about the founding team, but how is the team actually structured? For example, who is the CEO? Anyone want to take a crack at that?
I can answer that as well. So under docs.saucerswap.finance, you'll see an About Us page that defines the role of each core team member. Now, I feel like the question touches more on philosophy, on like what sort of mode a team operates on, and that's really no one is above another. That's why no one has a C-level title, because we agree that each team member has equal worth and representation to another. This kind of system really makes sense when you're in a startup or a small team, where members have to wear different hats, and this applies here. Our AppSec guy, for example, supports the Solidity end and is knowledgeable about the Hedera SDK. Joe doesn't just do tokenomics, but also has reins over corporate accounting. And Peter not only does marketing, but also outreach to individuals, institutions, and research into potential opportunities and competitors. So at the end of the day, the titles don't really mean much, and conforming to it would actually hurt the project. We're working as a lean team where each member is trusted to pull their own weight, and this dynamic has been much more healthier and productive compared to what we had before.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, we elected to, take this kind of bottom-up approach rather than a top-down hierarchical structure. In part because of our long-term vision, which is to become a decentralized autonomous organization. So we took a page from Hedera's book, that being their path to decentralization, which takes methodical steps towards a decentralized governance. With that end goal in mind, we felt that a bottom up structure is more conducive to this eventual transition.
Thanks, Peter and Hank. And I'd like to also add that as a social manager, the core team has been so receptive to any of our ideas and also any of the ideas that you as community members have posed. So we're always open up to improving your experience and also learning what works best for you and the community as well. So going on to question number 3, what is the current expected timeline for audit completion and the first pools?
Yeah, I can answer that one. So we're still shopping around for auditors. It's unclear which auditors will audit smart contracts on Hedera because there are some differences, but I don't think the differences are that big, so it shouldn't be a problem getting multiple quotes from different audit firms. And then the timeline for the first pools could be right after the audit and when Hedera's network upgrades hit mainnet. So those upgrades are HIP 218, and we're also looking for a token create transaction in Solidity. But we are moving as fast as we can on it, and actively testing on PreviewNet.
Great, thanks, Tarzan. So question number 4, any comment progress with the foundation? This is in regards to the HBAR Foundation. And previously stated that SaucerSwap was not interested in getting any venture capital or VC funding, and it would be more community focused. So
I can take this one. So, just as the question said, the SaucerSwap team is committed to making this a community-oriented project. And to that end, we haven't sought out any VC funding, and we intend to continue down that path. And any interaction or partnership that has or has not occurred between SaucerSwap and the HBAR Foundation would be appreciated, sufficing it stays within that guideline. In the end, we're striving to build an asset in the Hedera network that brings value to the Hedera community as well as the SaucerSwap community and its army of supporters. So really, we're just trying to do what's best for you guys.
Great, thanks. So question number 5 from the community is, what projects outside of SaucerSwap in the Hedera ecosystem are the founders most excited about? What projects would you think complement SaucerSwap's mission?
Yeah, this question I'm really excited to take on. So, Hashback, for obvious reasons, their team has been accommodating and supportive to the SaucerSwap mission to bring DeFi onto Hedera. They'll remain our only wallet for the foreseeable future. I also have to admit that I see a lot of overlap between SaucerSwap and the Dovu community, and I wouldn't mind a chance to collaborate with Matt Smithies. I haven't interacted with him much at all, but he seems like a reasonable and down-to-earth guy, which is, a rarity when you consider the craze and mania in the crypto space. Down-to-earth people are worth their weight in gold, at least in here.
And just to add to that second part of the question, which is what projects would you think complement SaucerSwap's mission? We intend to be an onboarding ramp for any and all HTS projects in general and at large. So really any project that is leveraging HTS is a natural fit as a collaborator with SaucerSwap.
Thanks, Hank and Peter. Question number 6. Will we get a sneak of the UI for the platform or any other teasers, surprise, or interesting features?
Yeah, so I'm really excited about this one. Some of you saw that tweet we put out hinting at the fact that we will be sharing previews of our UI. We are actively working with our designer and front-end team to bring this online, and we're really excited to share these previews in the very near future.
Awesome. Okay, number 7. Thank you to the founder team for coming out publicly. However, the tag team didn't seem to show themselves in the last AMA. Any reason why?
Yeah, that question is a bit tricky, but to establish trust in the SaucerSwap project, it was necessary for the co-founders to become public-facing and handle affairs with our reputations on the line. But for the rest of the team, it's more of a personal decision for them to make. In my case, I might be the tech lead, but in reality, I act like a proxy server delegating inquiries to the other 3 computers. I know it's a lame joke, but it's a very good analogy for what's going on.
So it seems like you're the node, and like the master node, and then there's all the other nodes too, like in a cluster. Okay, that's a little sidetracking now. But okay, number 8. Has an auditor been selected yet? No. As previous to what Tarzan has said previously, we're still shopping around. All right, so moving on to number 9. Has the NFT sale gone according to expectations? With the current sales, is the team able to cover costs for the first to third month timeframe?
Hank, do you want to take this one, or I can take it?
Oh, sure. So ordinarily this is Joe's venue to handle, but for reference, Spooky Swap launched with a TVL of approximately 50 grand in the summer of 2021 and reached around, I believe, $1.6 billion in the middle of January. Given how everything's gone, we feel pretty optimistic about our launch.
Great. That's a really good analogy, Hank. Okay, question number 10. What has been the biggest challenge of the project to date, and what are you hoping to learn from it and take away going forward?
So this is more of a question on the technical side, right?
I assume so. I think, yeah. Biggest
Gotcha. In that case, I'll answer this one as well. The lack of standardization on the Hedera network is probably the biggest challenge. I mean, we're so early into the space that there's no set standard, so we're looking out to other networks that have been long established in the DeFi space. So it really becomes a question of how do we adopt these standards, or how do we quote unquote Hederify it to conform to these tools, documentations, and HIPs that we have? Because it's certainly not easy, and what we'll do will probably be the inspiration for others' work. And I think that's what gets me most excited about the project. And it's really to pioneer something new that could bring value to others in the space. In other words, we're dealing with a positive sum game where everyone's growing from each other's contributions. And it's going to be a long road ahead. But so long as everyone stays motivated and curious, I know we'll achieve a measure of success.
Great, yeah. I mean, the Hedera network and the space is relatively really new compared to other blockchains technologies. So we're really excited about this opportunity to bring this type of technology to all of you. Our question number 11 is, do you plan to add new cryptos soon after the launch of the swap, like the tokens from Act.io and Shibar?
Yeah. I could take this one. So for our initial launch, there's going to be 2 supported pools. Supported pools means that they have corresponding crop circles, which are yield farms. So those pools will be Sauce HBAR and USDC HBAR. Additionally, after we launch, any user will be able to create additional liquidity pools by providing equal value parts of any 2 HTS tokens, whether they want to make a HBAR jam pool or anything else. And then a little bit later down the road, once we implement single-sided staking, that's when community pools will come online. And I'm personally really excited about this one. Community pools will basically further catalyze the growth of the Hedera ecosystem by leveraging single-sided staking of Sauce. So in short, yes, we fully anticipate supporting other projects building on Hedera.
Great. Thank you so much, Peter. So question number 12, will there ever be a live interactive AMA in the future?
Okay, yeah, I can take this one too. Yeah, so we're still experimenting with ways to interact with the community. We basically borrowed this format from from Hedera's town halls, where they get questions in advance and have them voted on. That being said, we'll continue to revisit this, and if that means live AMAs are what the community wants, then we'll explore that option as well.
Great. So, question number 13, can you give more details on the RIP and the time space continuum? And what's the value of holding all three cryptos?
Yeah, I can chime in here. Now, we can't give in too many details, that would really spoil the surprise, but we feel that the community will be excited when they will see what's in store. Hint, it involves cows. That announcement is just around the corner, so stay tuned, guys. All right?
Great. Thanks so much, Hank. It's going to be a suspenseful ride. So, number 14, will the sauce released in the faucet be increased from the current amounts or stay the same?
Now that, yeah, the faucet's not gonna decrease, and if we ever had to change the amount, it would only go up. We're actively monitoring the sauce drain rate from the faucet, and everything is lining up with expectations. For the time being, we're gonna stick with the current amounts.
Great. Yeah, I think I've noticed some of our users post in a comment that they've received a pretty significant amount of sauce, so that's great. So we've had about 14 questions so far, and that was actually just all of the questions. So we want to introduce a surprise today for the second AMA. And because we are really excited to recognize our community members who you guys I know take your time out of your Saturday to join us in this AMA. So we are giving away or awarding Gravity NFT to a random listener. Hell yes. And that listener is, can we get some drums? Well, I'll just do my little drum here.
Yeah, drum roll, please.
Yes. It is Kazuik.
Yeah. KZUIK. If you could just shoot me a DM, you won a Gravity NFT. So congratulations.
Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. And also, I just want to give out a big shout out, including myself and the rest of the Saucer team, to recognize some active members of our community. There are a lot of people to name, as you can tell from the general chat. Sometimes there's like 100 messages when I am able to check it. But so far, the list includes H. Barbara. We always appreciate your help, and thanks for tagging me to help link accounts. That's great. Apex Predator, Hashgraphian, 0.0.monkey, Solido, Frogman, Matt from Affirmation NFT, and Ray of Dead Pixels. Now, these are not the only members that we see contributing, but throughout our AMAs throughout the year, we will continue to give you guys shout outs. So thank you so much for being a part of this community. I love you guys. We love you guys. And we are really excited about the coming days and weeks. So everyone, please stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time. And of course, you can always DM and ask us any type of questions. So thank you.
Thanks, everyone. See you on the next one.